this whole entire hunt after we drew Kansas tag is we got some cell cams out here to our buddy Cody, who owns this property, and we got it set up on various locations. So like this spot, we've got a watering hole that he came and put in because it's been so dry. He's got a boss bug feeder here that's got protein and just kind of a mix of corn and other stuff in it that the deer are coming to and from, even though they do have beans. We're not worried about really disturbing this place because these deer are here. They're not going anywhere. So it's a low impact area and a great spot for us to come and help out with some population control and put a doe down on the ground tonight. Shooter doe come in. I think I just heard her fall. She may have just gone down.
Tell you what, Kansas has been too dang good to me, and hopefully this Texas boy will be coming back.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel here. I hope you enjoyed that little doe hunt at the beginning. That was actually right here over this little water hole last year with my buddy Will Cooper. Came down from Hunt Stand to hunt with me and had success right here over this little water hole. I'm down here today on one of my Kansas farms, and we're doing a little prep work for fall food plots that we're gonna be putting in just a couple weeks, as well as getting some of these boss buck feeders full and getting some muddy and stealth cam cameras out so that I can see what kind of bucks I'm gonna have on this property this year. I came over here to this water hole and I thought, you know what, this would be a fantastic time to show you guys the success you can have over just a small water hole like this. As you guys saw in that doe hunt at the beginning, Will was able to take a doe right here. That was his very first time in sitting in this muddy tree stand right over here. Very first night, was able to take that big mature doe and get some meat in the freezer right away. Last year here, guys, was extremely dry. We had little to no rain through the spring and summer. It was starting to get pretty darn scary. So I put this water hole in as well as one on the east side of the property that we'll go check out here in a little bit. But I wanted to talk to you guys for just a second. I thought this would be a great opportunity. I noticed this pond was getting a little low. This little water hole was getting low. It's probably only 3-4 inches of water left in it. So I need to get down here and get this thing filled up. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity, guys, to talk to you guys about these. And I think something like this could really benefit and help you as well in the future with a successful hunt. This little water hole here was very simple to put in. What this is, guys, is a landscape pond for your backyard, for your landscaping, that I got at a local store here that we call Menards. It's kind of like a hardware, home improvement type store. You guys might have them in your area as well. You could probably find something like this at like a Home Depot or maybe a Lowe's or like a landscape company, something like that as well. But the reason why I chose to do this is I can put it in the ground, and it's extremely durable. They're very thick. You're not going to have any worries about hoof prints or hooves or anything like that, deer hooves, getting in here and breaking this thing. And it creates basically an EHD free area, because if I just came here and dug a little pond and tried to fill that up, one, it might not hold water right away, and two, if I let that get too low for too long, I could be creating an area where the little midge flies love to come and breed, lay their eggs, and possibly could have EHD problems in the future, which I should not have with this, because I'm not creating that muddy, mucky, nasty area with this type of water hole. One thing you do want to make sure you do if you're going to put a water hole in like this, whether it be something like this or even like a buried cattle tank or something. I was going to do a cattle tank here originally, but these were a heck of a lot cheaper, and I like the shape of them. They just looked really natural. But I do have what I call a critter stick in here. You definitely want to make sure that you have some sort of stick or log. You could possibly even put like a 4x4 post, something in there. And the reason is, for example, this pond right here, this little water hole is pretty low right now. And say a squirrel or a raccoon or a possum, heck, even a mouse or something got in here to get a drink and they couldn't get out, they're going to be able to use that stick or log or whatever you got in there to climb out. So you definitely want to make sure you do that, because last thing you want is a dead possum floating around in the water that your deer are drinking. That would just be nasty. Let's run over, guys, to the other side of the farm, and I'll show you that water hole that I have in a food plot there, and then we'll show you an amazing hunt that Will was able to take a deer we call 9 lives on the very first time in on opening day of Kansas deer season 2023. All right, we made it over to the second little man-made water hole I put in last year, and man, this one right here is where something pretty darn special happened. As I said, Will was able to take a deer we called 9 lives that we just weren't able to get killed over the years. And man, right here, actually right here where I'm standing, come right into this corner right here, Will was able to take him out of this blind right here at 20 yards, and it was absolutely unbelievable. We're going to show you a little bit of that footage here, guys, but make sure to watch the whole film that we have on the Hunt Stand channel. I'm telling you what, guys, it's really awesome. They did a great job with it, and I can't wait to have Will back. I hope that he draws a tag next year. He didn't draw a tag this year, but hopefully next year, 2025, he'll draw a tag, be able to come back here, and we'll be able to get him another great deer. But really cool hunt. Definitely check out the whole story, guys. But before we get into too much more, let's show you guys a little bit of the hunt for 9 lives.
It's like Christmas morning here in Kansas. Well, we just got up here in the blind, and we got a really good viewpoint up here, good vantage point. We're sitting on a mixture of brassica and I think some like turnips and a couple other things on this field here, so they've got a really good food source. We've got a watering source in here that Cody has come in and put in. We've got a mock scrape set up, perfect wind tonight for us. We've got a really good northeast wind, like 10 miles an hour, so really hoping that he does what we've been seeing him do on camera. All right, I feel good and situated on that. On the whitetail activity forecast, 72%, 7 p.m. Yeah, just post front, 72%. That's pretty good on the whitetail activity forecast. And now we wait. We just got settled in maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, and we've already got does funneling out here, so that's a good sign. They seem pretty relaxed.
Over the next hour and a half, we watched doe after doe after doe coming to feed and water with no bucks in sight. I looked into the beaten field behind us about 200 yards where I'd seen some does previously feeding when I noticed 4 to 5 deer came from the neighbor's cornfield. As I looked further, the last deer in line had the body of a mule, so this was a welcome sight. Little did I know this was 9 lives until he turned where I could see his eye guards and shape of his antlers. Light began to fade fast, and 9 lives had barely moved in the bean fields behind us. Finally, he reached the edge of the bean field and had roughly 100 yards to cover within about 15 minutes of light left. Knowing my recent history, I had already made up my mind that he wouldn't come in time. But lo and behold, he picked up the pace with no stopping.
And I'm like, holy crap. I was like, dude, that's a freaking shooter for sure. It's right there. And
I just see antlers. The way he was running, I thought he was gonna go down, but we gotta find that arrow.
Not knowing what happened to that deer, I didn't sleep a bit.
Go down, buddy, go down. Go down. Go down, dude, go down. Dude, I think he just laid his head down. Dude. Dude. I'm gonna stay quiet because look at my hands right now. First freaking night. I can't believe what just happened.
Man, guys, what an awesome hunt. Congratulations again, Will. Hope to have you back out here next year to do another Kansas hunt. He was not able to draw a tag here in Kansas this year, but maybe next year, 2025, we can get you back out here and get another awesome buck taken over this setup. We will see. Maybe on the other side of the farm. You never know. But before we wrap this thing up, guys, I want to just tell you a couple locations where I think these ponds work best. Number one is food plots. Those deer are already coming to the food plot. They're coming to the food. If you give them water there as well, it's just going to sweeten the pot. That's what we did here. We have a 2-acre food plot right here. We've got a clover alfalfa field on the north side of it, and we do a fall plot over here. Obviously, this one isn't planted yet. I just got it mowed up. I did not have time to get in here and do a spring plot this year, so we're doing a fall plot here. This is probably going to be some sort of cereal grain or maybe brassica mix right here. It was brassicas last year. That's what it was when Will was able to take 9 lives here. So I'll probably maybe go in here with some sort of rye, triticale mix, maybe winter wheat, something like that. But food plot number one is a fantastic place to put a water hole, and put it close to, you got a blind or a tree stand set up, put it to where you can shoot over it. This one's only 20 yards away and it worked absolutely perfect. I also have a little scrape tree that was here. The deer were already coming to this scrape tree, the bucks, to scrape around. They can scrape right here and get a drink. So, you're just making a hot spot right here for a buck to want to come and get a great shot here out of the blind. The other side over there, I don't really have a food plot yet. We're going to put a fall plot over there, just a small one. But I already had that stand there for the deer that were just coming out into that ag field. And that was just a really good rut stand there where the bucks would travel between a couple bedding areas. But I also have a feeder over there. I personally don't like to hunt over feeders that much. It's just, for me, hard to get in and out. I haven't had great success with that in the past, but I do use that feeder a lot in the off season, in the summer months, to get an inventory of what bucks are in the area. They work great for that. But in Kansas, you can hunt over them. If you want to do that, you definitely can. But why I put that one over there is I had a lot of deer coming to that feeder already. It was dry last year. I thought, let's put a pond close to this feeder, give them some water right here where they're already coming. Another place that I think, I never personally tried, but I think would be absolutely unbelievable, especially with a small little water hole like this, is if you have a farm that is basically all timber and you have no way to put any sort of food out. Maybe you're in a state that doesn't allow any type of feeding, and you've got so much timber you can't put a food plot in. You don't have the equipment to clear trees to put a food plot in, but you want to try to make a sweet little area where more deer are going to come to in that timber farm. I really think if you kind of picked an area where deer were already coming, maybe close to bedding, maybe some trails coming in and out of bedding, something like that, kind of an X marks the spot type of area, find it on Hunt Stand, get some boots on the ground, maybe a funnel or something like that even, and you put a water hole like this in the timber over a tree stand setup. I think that would be an absolutely unbelievably deadly area to take a really good buck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something, and hopefully, like I said, you can test some sort of water hole out like this on your place, and maybe you can have success just like Will did. But until next time, guys, God bless, and we will see you in the next Tips and Tactics video.